Hi folks, Mark Allen, BH Spring Solutions LLC and BHSpringSolutions.com, the science of the 45 ACP and the short barrel 1911. And we have had a six-way shootout. In that six-way shootout, we did some scoring, and the Ruger SR 1911 officers model did come in first. The Magnum Research 1911 Undercover 3-inch 1911 guess you don't call that an officer's model. It's a 3-inch 1911. Came in second. The Kimber Ultra Carry 2 came in third, and the Rock Island, it's called a Rock Ultra MS. It's a Commander with some upgrades on it from Rock Island, came in fourth. And this is our planning session for upgrades to these handguns. And these lists of recommended upgrades that we have come up with are based on two things: shooting results and performance across 4 different shooters and 2 different drills each with each handgun, and off of the original shop review. We went back, took a look at what were these handguns, rated as being strong in or weak in, compared to each other, and how can we improve those things and hopefully improve performance and the whole handgun is what we're looking to in essence improve. Okay, based on compatibility, all the short barrel 1911s in this study are going to receive 1911 SFS. Now that is the system so that you can carry hammer in the forward position. You pull the safety off hammer cocks and it's ready to fire, just like you would pull your safety off your 1911 if it was truly cocked and locked. And the addition, as long as it's a compatible feature, the addition of a GI beaver tail, and that's so we can have the safest hammer forward carry capability and maximum concealment profile. In other words, the GI beaver tail has it has the added benefit of being able to print less, and it makes your SFS system a bit more functional. Also, BH Spring Solutions extended slide stop. Also, BH Spring Solutions convertible ambi mag catch. And we're going to detail on each page our upgrade plan. First of all, we're going to take the 4 1911s that did finish the competition, and we're going to take those from 4 to 1. I really think the one that we're looking at right here probably has the most room for improvement and the most ability to be improved, if you will. The Rock Island Commander, Rock Ultra MS, it's a 4¼ inch 1911 Commander, and the upgrade plan is 1911 SFS with a GI beaver tail. Sorry about that. The BHSS extended slide stop, the BHSS convertible ambidextrous magazine catch. Now, what these things do for us, along with the 1911 SFS and the hammer forward carry, the extended slide stop is going to put the slide stop in reach of the shooting hand thumb if you're a right hand dominant person. The 1911 SFS is also going to add ambidextrous safety, or cocking lever it's called with the SFS system. And the convertible ambi mag catch, this does 2 things. It makes your magazine release easier to manipulate for mag changes. It's also convertible, and in other words, from the right or the left side, either one, it's easier to manipulate. It can be converted to a single side only, just like traditionally, but it is going to make the magazine releases easier and faster, more tactical to manipulate. I'm going to tune the trigger on this one to 5 to 5.5 pounds. It originally came in with a 4-pound 9-ounce trigger brake. We're going to tune that to a 5.5 pound trigger brake, and optimized 1911 Commander springs, including our 18-pound progressive recoil spring. We found that to be the best performer in 4¼ inch barrel handguns. This is a biggie one right here, and I just have a feeling this is the biggest of all as it relates to the accuracy drill and the multiple adversary drill that we did. This handgun really, all shooters agreed, requires a sight replacement. Obviously, we want night illumination for anything that's going to be a concealed carry or home defense handgun, and we'll be making those upgrades as well. And we're going to upgrade the grip panels. We believe we can get a more ergonomic presence in the hand with a grip panel change, and we've got an idea in mind there. Nothing really negative about the grip hold of the handgun. We just think we can get it more ergonomic, and that means it might be a little bit more have a little bit more natural pointing characteristics. We'll see. If we can improve performance in this specific handgun, we will do a refinish on the slide and the frame, and if we get this to where it's performing really top notch, this handgun may ultimately be sold. So that's the plan for the Rock Island Rock Ultra MS. Okay, to the Kimber Ultra Carry 2. This one was the one that came in third in our competition, and our upgrade plan on this one is as follows: 1911 SFS and a GI beaver tail, extended slide stop for the reasons we already talked about, convertible ambi mag catch. We're going to tune the trigger to 5 to 5.5 pounds. This one came in with a 4 pound 3 ounce trigger brake. Also optimized 1911 optimized 1911 springs. Now we've got a challenge on this one because we're going to attempt to design and test an alternative outer recoil spring for this one. The outer recoil spring in the Kimber we found to be a fatter diameter spring wire than any spring in all of the other handguns. And it's also shorter than the outer spring in the Magnum Research, but the Magnum Research is a lighter diameter or a thinner diameter spring wire and has more coils. Seems to stabilize better in the Magnum Research than the combination that Kimber put into theirs. I've read several places online about this particular Kimber model having a little bit of function issues and things, and with that heavy recoil spring, they've really tried to max that out in order to get longer life out of that outer spring, more than just the 1,500 rounds that they've said their outer recoil spring is good for. So this one is going to be a little bit of a test for us. We're going to attempt to prescribe a more suitable outer recoil spring with a goal of improved extraction and better performance. It's just, we believe if we can do this, it's going to really bring the Kimber into the competitive class with the Ruger and the Magnum Research. This one item right here, the poor consistency of extraction we experienced out of the Kimber, this one thing probably was the most influential thing with this Kimber coming in third. I have a hunch, and I can say this, just for myself. I was definitely distracted by the poor extraction. I know Plemena, when she was shooting, she was as well, and just better performance and not having to dodge the brass flying towards the head. It's really not such a stretch to think that the Kimber may have scored as well as the Ruger or the Magnum Research, and we consider this worth spending a little bit of effort on to see if we can bring this Kimber up to where it can perform with the other handguns that was in this comparison. We are going to do a sight replacement. 2 reasons: better sight acquisition and night illumination. Now, the sight acquisition on this handgun was not bad. It's a 3-dot three white dot sight system, same as on the Ruger that won this competition, basically. But does not have any kind of night sight kind of capability. Really, we're looking to improve each one of these pistols in every possible way that we can. And finally, we're going to upgrade the grip panels. And I have to tell you, the lack of sureness of grip hold in the Kimber was so opposite of the really aggressive sureness of grip hold with the Magnum Research that we think that there's a possibility of improving the performance of this handgun for the shooters by increasing the sureness of the grip hold. We've got a plan also to do that. Okay, the number 2 in our competition was the Magnum Research 1911 Undercover. Almost identical pistol to the Kimber. They went with a different recoil spring system, though. 1911 SFS and the GI Beaver tail extended slide stop, ambi mag catch, tuned the trigger to 5 and 5.5 pounds. This one came in with a 3-pound, 6-ounce trigger pull. Now, you remember how close this competition was. The Ruger only won by a point. The Magnum Research came in with a 3-pound, 6-ounce trigger pull. The Ruger had a 5-pound trigger pull. Here again, had this, considering the multiple adversary drill, where our shooters were attempting to run these rounds out as quickly as they comfortably could with accuracy. And I can tell you, one of our shooters did have a follow-up shot during that drill that it popped off before he intended it to. And it was the only handgun that he popped one off before he intended to. And it was this Magnum Research. And it's this 3-pound, 6-ounce out-of-the-box trigger pull that I believe may have actually been the difference in this competition. The Ruger was extremely controllable, and a 3.6-pound, 6-ounce trigger pull is, for some shooters, a little less controllable. Okay, we're going to go with BH Optimized 1911 springs in that Magnum Research. We're going to keep the original factory recoil spring. We're going to retain that in use. It's a better functioning outer spring than the Kimber. We are sure of that. And it's a longer life outer recoil spring than was in that double stack Rock Island that we got 14 reliable rounds out of. We're going to leave that one, and for our continued shooting, continued testing, we'll go with the stay with the factory outer spring on that recoil spring assembly. Sight replacement for better sight acquisition and night illumination. This didn't seem to be too much of a downside, although the black rear sight and the single white dot front sight, the sight acquisition was okay. It was better than on the 4.25-inch Rock Island. We're also going to upgrade the grip panels, and this is going to seem a little counterproductive, but the composite grips combined with some really pointy front and rear back strap dots on the frame of the Magnum Research. This thing is aggressive all the way around your hand. There isn't a place when you wrap your hand around this handgun, there is not a place it doesn't feel aggressive. And maybe this would be true for some shooters, all shooters, or none of them, but there's a point, I think, where you get the grip hold too aggressive, and the hand doesn't think it needs to hold so tight. In fact, I tell you, if you really wrap your hand around that Magnum Research that you're looking at right there, and you really wrap your hand around there tight, it's not a comfortable grip hold. It feels aggressive towards the skin of your hand all the way around, and it's very consistent that way. My concern is this level of sureness may give someone a false sense of security. In other words, feel like, well, I don't have to hold this thing so tight. And honestly, if I don't hold it quite so tight, it gets more comfortable. And that's the one right there. And that, at least in my way of thinking, and I'm kind of the guy in the hot seat here prescribing some of this stuff on these handguns, when the grip hold, combination of frame and grips, when that combination becomes markedly more comfortable to lighten up your hand pressure, in other words, hold it less tight because it's more comfortable that way, and this handgun out of the box is that. We don't want the human need and the human gravitation towards comfortable. This is often unconscious and just a matter of reflex. So that's the rationale, the reason for why we are going to go with a different grip plan for the Magnum research. We think we're going to improve it, and we think we're going to improve it. The front and rear back straps, my goodness, those are by themselves are plenty. That gun's going nowhere if you have a good, firm, reasonable grip hold on it. We're going to go with like we said, the sight replacement and night illumination capability on the Magnum research, and we're going to do a different grip plan, and we think that's going to be an improved handgun. After that one too likely in the future will be sold. The SR 1911 officer's model. Those grips that you're looking at on that picture, those are about as thin as you're going to get, and the handgun itself doesn't fill the hand very well. You've got this very rectangular shape. The thickness of the grip panels themselves are insufficient to really get contact with the palm of your hand. And as much as I love Ruger's engineering on this handgun internally, specifically that 3 recoil spring on a full-length guide rod and bull barrel configuration. For whatever reason, so many of Ruger's products over the years have felt like a bad idea in my hand. And I don't mean some, a lot of them feel like sort of a brick in my hand. Not ergonomic, not high power-ish, not even really in this case a good 1911 impersonation with the grip panels that they have on there. It's a smooth front strap, and the grip hold, the sureness of the grip hold, the comfortableness of the grip hold, this handgun did not score high compared to the other competitors in this competition in our shop study. Even though all shooters really shot this handgun just as well or better pretty much as all the rest of the handguns, it didn't win any awards or any compliments for how it feels in the hand. Granted, very stable handgun to shoot, very consistent in the performance across all of our shooters. We're going to be doing something about that. 1911 SFS, GI, Beaver Tail, Extended Slide, Stop, Ambi, Mag, Catch, BH Springs. We're going to retain those triple factory recoil springs. We are doing a sight replacement, not because we think sight acquisition is necessarily going to be improved that much. It's a 3-dot white sight system, and it worked just fine, but we want night illumination, night capability. And we want to increase the ergonomics and the sureness of the grip hold on the Ruger. Okay, to those 2 guns that were eliminated from the competition, we have first the Rock Island 1911 Officer's Model, a 3.5-inch barrel. Same type of upgrades, 1911 SFS and Beaver Tail Extended Slide Stop Ambi Mag Catch, all BH optimized 1911 Officer Springs. And the real big ones on this one, I think, are 2, is sights and grips. Sights, this would be the least accessible sights of all of the handguns that we had in this competition. Really basic when we get to this handgun as far as the sights and as far as the grips, and we just think that we've got a chance to bring the level of performance of this handgun up. I'm not sure we've got as much room for improvement as the Rock Island Commander 4¼ inch barrel, but we're sure going to find out and give it our best shot. Okay, the hunk of rock, the 1911 A2 subcompact, and I want to tell you, this just does feel like a hunk of rock in your in your hand. And I don't know if we can do anything with this. The thing we have to do, and it gets down here in the middle of the screen right now, we've got to design and test an alternative outer recoil spring that has longer life. And if we're successful, we're going to address sights on this one, because the sights on this one are just particularly a bad idea. 2 white dots in the rear that get your attention very quickly, and a black front sight that is hard to find at all. So it's kind of strange. You can sight acquisition of the rear sights. You got that one on this gun with no problem. Again, this one may be too much of somebody's idea for us to make a reliable handgun out of it. We don't know at this point. We're going to find out. If SFS is compatible, it would be a very cool thing to have a handgun this size with this much capacity, with hammer forward carry. My goodness, that in and of itself is worth seeing if we can engineer something a little bit better than Rock Island did. So at least the recoil spring guide rod assembly for this gun with an inner spring and an outer spring, this is the right idea. I mean, it's probably the best way they can go if they persist with this 3.1-inch barrel. But they know they have a deficiency on these outer recoil springs. They're including an extra recoil spring with the gun with a label change every 500 rounds. Well, it didn't get that far. Not this time. So. And if we can make a reliable handgun out of this, that is something that a guy could feel confident about, putting in a holster or a carry bag or in the truck or whatever, then we'll maybe someday sell this hunk of rock as an improved, a BH improved hunk of rock. Otherwise, if we're not able to do that, this one is going to be going back to Rock Island with a request for them to swap this out for a different model, because 14 reliable rounds out of the box, and then you start having fails to go into forward battery twice in one magazine. That's harsh. And however, when you've removed all the margin out of a design, like going from 5-inch to 3.1-inch, when you remove the margin and you're now struggling to control energy because you've run yourself out of real estate to house your springs, that's tough. And it's always been a possibility with handguns in this class. And it's definitely one that showed up in our testing. Folks, thanks for joining us for this session of The Science of 45 ACP and the Short Barrel 1911. I'm Mark Allen, BH Spring Solutions LLC and BHSpringSolutions.com.